Me and man, we went to go see that the Venom 2 on what was that? What was that on last Friday, man? Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah, that was last Friday.
Yeah, bro. We definitely had to go check that out, bro, because it was trending. I knew it had to be something big. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been talking about it, and they was talking about the big spoiler and everything like that. Bleeze, have you seen it yet, bro?
I
Boy.
have not seen it yet. No, I have not. But I've seen a clip. I've seen the clip where he was supposed to be getting sentenced to death, and it obviously didn't go that way. And
Yep.
I was like, hold on, this look kind of corny. And right when he's turned into Venom, I'm gonna turn into Carnage. I was like, ooh, this look good. I ain't gonna lie, it looked good. That scene, I liked that scene. It was good. Even
The
even the
movie,
part where he put. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. So go ahead. That one was late.
the movie altogether really like. And I'm gonna just say that the story did lose me a little bit, but it was an overall good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
I actually
I
want to
like
see it.
Yeah, I'm about to
Yeah. I mean,
say.
it was good, man.
Yeah. So what
What
you was
they
about
did,
to say, bro?
what happened?
I said what you was about to say, Solo. Go ahead, bro.
Now I was gonna say, like the way they definitely brought in Carnage and represented him, and actually gave him like his own personality as well as Stacey Cassidy. Like I like how they did that, and I mean they really showed this symbiote like how different he was from like Riot and Venom, and I like that. Like they're all very different yet so similar, and I mean just the way they executed Carnage was perfect. And Stacey Cassidy, like his backstory and everything was like really accurate as far as like the comics go, and I thought that was cool. Even I mean like the story was a little different, but I like how Shriek and him actually had that you know
Yeah. It was
had
straight
that
from the origin, straight from the comics too.
like in the comics, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a good watch, Frank, man. I definitely liked it, man. And then
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
The issue with me is that I have to, before seeing it, I have to see the Venom movie, and I wasn't really hyped off the Venom movie.
Okay.
And I did, I did see some of the Venom movie. I think at the ranch. I seen
Okay.
up to the part where the tech CEO got the symbiote and then would start messing with it. And then he became Riot. I
Yeah.
got a question for y'all. And I have, man, did you see it?
Yeah.
Man, seen it with Terry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We seen it together. Yeah.
All right, cool. Y'all, so all three of y'all seen it, so it don't, it's all good then. Question: do they explain the red symbiotes?
No, they exactly do not. It's basically like, I mean, because I'm like, I don't know. Should we go into spoilers or should we wait until you done seeing it? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to.
Okay, explain it because Venom was like, oh, it's a red one. Like he knows the red ones are badass or something. Do they kind of go into that or at all? No.
Like you said, yeah. It felt like they was teasing it, but that's not necessarily what, like you said, that was kind of like more of like a comic thing in terms of this, like how they do it in terms of live action. It ain't really in terms of explain that, but there's a symbiote, like a symbiote world out there, like with more symbiotes that's out there. Like we definitely know that's for sure. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of like, besides what you said, what they were teasing, like there's a red one, that was probably the only Easter egg we got based off a red symbiote, really.
T Solo.
What's good?
So now that I finally got your attention, and well, I already got your answer, T. And I'm kind of in agreement with you. What about you, Solo? You think that at the end of Carnage, where do you think that happened before? Do you think that happened before Strange cast the spell or after?
No, that was when how can I say it? In that No Way Home trailer, when he did that whole thing about trying to not make it seem like Peter Parker killed or Spider-Man killed Mysterio, that's when that happened.
Right. Okay.
That's
all
when
right.
that happened.
This is what he's trying to say, because you remember when before in that post credit scene when basically Venom was explaining like I can go through different universe and all like that, and like some type of like effect happened, like something went wrong, like where it was like you can even see in the background like. Now that's what I think right. Now we were trying to say we didn't know if that was based off the situation based off Loki, but that couldn't be because the Far From Home happened before that, so it couldn't be based off that. It happened before, so I'm like we didn't know if it happened based off the we were trying to figure out like what did happen that caused it that made J. Jonah Jameson pop up like that on the screen, because he couldn't be from that universe if that was the case. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's why I'm like, what caused that to make that happen? Was it just Venom in general did that, or just like, or something happened where that point in timeline where it just showed like that just happened where it just showed Joe Jameson and Spider-Man like that. That's why
I think it happened. I think it happened when Doctor Strange did that little spell, and then everything started switching up, because then all of a sudden, you know, Peter Parker, because then you remember how everybody started coming, like bro, Green Goblin went to his universe, Doc Ock popped up through a portal. I think that's what happened, and then you have to think about it. They're in the new Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the villain to the public. That's why he was on the news, because they're like, oh, he killed Mysterio.
Right. Yeah.
But remember, he was like, I could make a spell where it'll erase everybody's. Well, pretty much, Mysterio will be alive again, and you won't take the fall for killing him because you really didn't do it. He kind of did it to himself, type thing, right? But the public, the news, the media, like they always do, Spider-Man is now the villain. That's why when when Venom looked at the screen and he was like pretty much a bad guy I could eat, right? Because he pretty much, Spider-Man is looked at as a bad guy right now through the public, and Doctor Strange did that whole spell thing where now it's like, okay, the multiverse and everything is clashing together. Man, I don't know, man.
Okay, man. I think you was right, bro. Man, I think you was right then, because I was confused. I was thinking like, how can that be? Because I'm like, if because that was the reason why he went to Doctor Strange, because he got accused and he wanted to make people forget he was Spider-Man. But then we don't know what's part of the timeline where Venom was at. That could have happened during that same time. Like, see, that's why I didn't peep that. Peep that. So I'm like, okay, he could have did that spell around the time when Venom and them was on the. Okay, that could have happened around that time. Okay, so I'm like, that makes sense.
I was kind of going with you a little bit, like when Loki, all the Lokis and majority of the female Loki that messed up the whole timeline, and everything then went south and up and down, left, right, and God knows where.
I was about to say that has to play.
Honestly, we'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, bro, because I'm like, that has to play a part in that too, because that literally changed the whole timeline right there with Kane being the statue and everything, bro. Yeah, bro. I know it definitely has to, and then we getting variants of Toby, we getting Andrew, and so I'm like, that has to play a tie into that, because that's the first version we've seen variants.
Which one is the funniest one to all, bruh?
That's crazy, bruh. We're gonna get variants, bruh, but we can get variants of even of Venom in them, and like offspring of like Carnage in that. Bro, like we can see obviously Toxin, we can see Green, we can see anti-Venom, bruh. Like,
now y'all seen the teaser though for that Toxin though, right? You know Toxin's supposed to be that officer that basically because you remember the part when his eyes was turning different color. That's supposed to be supposedly Toxin right there, because he has the
because I want to know was Scream, like, did she have like a part of the symbiote in her? Because remember when she was screaming, her teeth was like sharp.
Yeah, but you got to remember though, because
Toxin
remember he told Eddie,
you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I wonder how.
Not to cut you off. Remember he told Eddie, we choose our own host.
Exactly.
So it's pretty much I chose you. So it's like, I think Scream's going to get her symbiote, but it's going to be like probably a little time later on. But because right now they're focused on the whole Spider-Man.
See, that's why I don't know if that'll be the case, because Carnage is dead now. That's what threw me off. I was surprised they killed him off so fast. I understand he is the most dangerous symbiote out of all of them, but like, I'm surprised they killed him off like that, like so fast. Usually him and Spider-Man would team up against Carnage, or it'll be Carnage be trying to go on a rampage, or he'll try to go team up with other villains, because they would just him. Like, that's how they use Carnage, like against like Civil War and all like that. Like how they use him just like as like a.
But here's the thing, though. The thing is, if you kill off Carnage, basically, like I said, if you bring in Toxin, you don't need Carnage, because Toxin actually was declared the worst symbiote.
Right.
And then after Toxin, who came in? The god of the symbiotes. So, I mean, I mean, yeah, I did think it was kind of whack how they killed them off because I'm like, dang. I mean, the first movie he was in, I feel like if they was gonna do that, they should.
Right, they was building him up to make it seem like he was gonna be like a bigger, better villain, like at least like in terms of the symbiotes. That's why I was surprised they killed him off. That's why. But now, like you said, bro, I feel like they gonna just show each of the important symbiotes from the comics. Like we already got Riot and we already got Carnage. And now we getting Toxin, you know what I'm saying? So
maybe they might make Carnage pop up again in another timeline. We'll never know.
Probably.
But I'm like, I don't know, because I'm like, didn't he necessarily he killed Cassie? Then he basically ate it up. So I'm like, if it's a certain way, but he still remember because he's still the offspring of Venom though. So I'm like, if that's the case, he can still have. I'm about to say there still could be a Carnage like symbiote that's still out there. That's the case. Yeah, it could be. Cause he's still, if you remind, that's the only way I could say there could possibly be more symbiotes out there. Cause you remember he bit him, and that's how he got it. So if you can bite, just get some part of that symbiote blood on you, then yeah.
And to touch up on that, bro, did they ever find the ones that was up in the whole facility when they brought him to Earth? Although it was cold, they had to put San Francisco in there, but whatever. Did they even find the main one, the other ones that they burned from the facility? Because I know there was a blue one, there was a yellow one,
there were
orange,
more symbiotes up in that. I remember what you're talking about when they was basically introducing them in that first one. It was a blue one and it was that yellow one. Yeah, I remember that. That's what they was putting on one of the patients and he ended up dying. That was one of the dangerous ones that couldn't like. I don't know exactly which ones them was called, but them ones them probably the ones that can't even be get a host, you know what I'm saying? Because they too, like, you know what I'm saying? Because as soon as they got up on dude, it instantly just died, like, instantly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, some symbiotes is just, it can't even get to, it just has to stay, like, in a certain, like, just to even be alive, you know what I mean? Like, some symbiotes can't even find a host. Like, kind of like how Suicide Squad was, like, when Starro couldn't find his host, how just lay down on the ground, just died off just like that. Like, they'll probably just be like that for, like, certain symbiotes. But in terms of Carnage and Toxin like that, like, we already know they'll have their and what's his name? Noel, you said, but Noel's like he's the most OP one out of all of them. They'll probably save him for last, or they'll probably just.
Oh yeah, well, Noel. Here's the thing about Noel. Noel, yeah, they should bring in Noel to like a fourth movie at the end because Noel's responsible for creating Gore the God Butcher. So that's his.
I'm gonna be honest.
So, they gonna have to really hold off on that because that's just retarded.
I'm gonna be honest and try to film.
Hold on, man. What you about to say something?
Go ahead, Solo.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm ready to see that we haven't seen yet, but I think now that Spider-Man and Venom are going to be a part of the same universe, we're gonna finally see Venom use his organically used webs. Because if you remember. Venom used to, he has organically do that. Like he has organically made webs. He didn't need to make web shooters because that's just the symbiote has that ability.
The symbiote has that ability.
But he ain't done no web slinging yet. But
until when he see Peter Parker
and crawling and swimming.
Right, when he see Spider-Man, he gonna want to do that for sure.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. I did. Now that's why I always wondered: you think they gonna put the actual Venom symbiote on his chest, like how they originally did it with like from the comics.
Exactly.
That's why I was wondering because I'm like, this Venom could like, even though he's looking at him as a bad guy, he could still Spider-Man could still put an influence on this Venom, even regardless. He still want to look at him as a. That's kind of like how their relationship was. It was like a love and hate thing to a point.
Exactly. So I think
they definitely could do it like that, bro. Because
exactly. I'm thinking he doesn't like the Venom we see now. He's not. I mean, he's pretty much like the Brute. He's just climbing on buildings, jumping across. But he ain't web slinging, and he ain't got the symbol on his chest yet. So I'm like, in this new, when they do merge, I feel like that Spider-Man influence is going rub off on him. They might fight together against somebody, or I mean, they're gonna probably fight each other.
They're gonna fight each other.
They're gonna definitely fight. Yeah. But if you're looking at Venom now. He's looking at himself more as like a protector of the world now, more in like he needs to eat people of the world now. So when he said we need to be find these bad guys, so when he looked at Spider-Man, when he knowing he's accused of killing like Mysterio and all like that, of course he's gonna look at him as a bad guy. But then he'll probably find out the truth through this either the Sinister Six or it'll probably just find out through this Doctor Strange spell and all like that. So by then, or if we get a bigger, better villain where they both have to team up against him, and then that's how probably this will probably happen.
Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Just knowing all these symbiotes is really like keeping track of all of Batman Robins for real.
Boy, I'm like, what is this boy talking about?
Like, no, I'm only saying this because you know how many Robins this nigga Bat. Remember, there's a regular one, not the one that became Nightwing, the one that became Red Hood. It just heck of different Robins for real.
Yeah, I mean, all the Robins. I mean, not to get off subject, but there's 5 Robins, and they all like were different. Different people in his life.
Grew up with a different Bruce. I'm gonna say.
All right, before we get off topic, man, bro.
Of course, I ain't getting off topic. I'm just saying, it just feel like keeping track of all these fucking symbiotes. It do be crazy as ever.
That's just how comic books is. There's different versions of every character that we know of, bro. There's different versions of literally every character, literally, bro.
I know.
Now we just
I don't know when they gonna plan on bringing anti-Venom, man, but I hope they don't plan on doing it too soon. Cause that just gonna
wasn't at a point in time. I think correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not too sure. Was the Punisher ever anti-Venom, or was it like somebody else?
It was like a thing where he had like a thing with the symbiote, but I don't know if it like captured as his host. I don't know. I don't really know if that was the case.
Because I know it was somebody from the military. I don't know anti-Venom for like a short period of time, or it was like some other like military personnel dude.
I thought it was Flash and the other dude. I forgot. He used to be a soldier, but he's connected to Spider-Man too. But I thought one of them was that played Agent Venom was Flash. Was one of them. That was in the TV series though.
Yeah,
I hate to be the next one to go, but my battery on 10%.
Oh, it's good.
All right, it's all good.
It's all good, bro.
All right. I'm keeping I'll hit you up tomorrow, T. Solo.
All right, man. Take care, cuz. Much love, man.
All right.
Much love, man. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
All right. But yeah, bro, like,
yeah.
I feel like now this is we really just getting what we basically asked for now. Like, now they can really play it safe with the Spider-Man now, because we was wondering, like, how can the conflict will be the main thing between Eddie Brock, Venom, and Spider-Man and all like that. We was wondering how that could be. But now you got the Sinister Six coming in, and now you seeing now its actual purpose. Like, I feel like now we see why they use Mysterio as the second villain for that movie to introduce this now, because he's basically the manipulator. He can confuse people with throwing people off and stuff with tricks and all like that. So you can use that to, you know what I'm saying, to reveal like Spider-Man's identity and all like that. So
exactly.
That's what I like about these Marvel movies. Like, it kind of like, it makes you think, like, for instance, like, now we could look back on Ultron now after watching What If, because at first we was looking like, okay, we don't really know, like, how great of a villain this, like, Ultron could have been, because he was wasted all by, you know what I'm saying, but now we seeing how OP he is with the stones now. We seeing, like, he can literally destroy multiverse. He's really on a bigger scale than Thanos was, you know what I'm saying? So I like how Marvel is doing that. They're giving each character their redemption and everything, so.
Exactly, which actually, it did happen in the comics. Age of Ultron, in the spinoff, when he actually got a hold of the Tesseract, like he didn't even complete his transformation into Vision, but when he got his because he had different armor suits. So now he had the vibranium suit that we know of, but he also had an adamantium suit as well. So he had two of the most powerful metals known to Earth and pretty much in the universe that we know of. And then he also had the Tesseract. And in that comic, I remember he was sitting on a throne with the Tesseract in his hand, and you saw like a few dead Avengers under him. But he just had that single stone. So the fact that they actually gave him all the stones would have actually made him that powerful, because like in the actual comic book Age of Ultron, he killed off some Avengers and, you know, took over Earth, you know what I'm saying? And like it's I think it was dope how they actually was like, okay, well, what happens if we give him all the stones and have him complete this transformation into a more perfect organic body? Like, crazy, man.
Yeah, bro. They took basically that Age of Ultron plot and just took it on a bigger level, bro. Because they were saying, what if I conquer the world with just basically just Ultron and I'll just taking over just basically this world. They took it where, let me just give you the stones and we just take it, not just the world, just the whole multiverse. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just say, we're going to just take on a bigger, like, to a point, they had him fighting a Watcher, bro. That's why I'm like, where Like, we only seen two people that was strong enough to even see past that verse was either him or Doctor Strange, bro.
Exactly.
That's why I was saying how strong Doctor Strange is, because he even had the stones at that point at all. He probably just had a time stone.
None.
Right,
yeah. He didn't have no stones.
So I was like, yeah, bro. That boy is definitely OP. I like the way how they definitely did that with Ultron, bro, because it's like, bro, he was definitely wasted. Like, and he's plus like he's one of the main members of Master Evil. Like, he's one of the most important villains in the Marvel universe. So I definitely like how they did that with Ultron, though, for surely, bro. They went in with that one, and like how it's animated, so it's like we could possibly see that again. We could probably see a part 2 to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
well, you know what? They're gonna have the Ultron bots, is rumored in the Multiverse of Madness. Like, it's been rumored that they're supposed to show Ultron's bots.
Yeah, they
I don't know
even
what role he gonna play.
Spider-Man, because bro, there has to be some type of like anything with like basically Ultron's memory that's still out there, bro. It has to be, bro. Because they was teasing even the Spider-Man, like with his helmet and everything. Like, there's a lot of teasers of like an Ultron could come back. Even we know, even the comics when Ultron got destroyed, he came right back just based off. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways that Ultron could come back. So I'm like,
because basically he's a super AI computer. So all he has to do is transfer his data into something else. Like, they have, as long as there's like electricity and a system, like a motherboard,
right?
You know, he could be at any part of the world at any time, because it's like, you know,
right.
So I think that's pretty cool. And then because same thing with Zola, like Zola, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just needed power to be activated. Like,
that's how they can definitely use Ultron in live action too. Like, just exactly how they did with Zola, bro. And that's all. That's a scary sight, especially if you look at this multiverse, bro. Because you can see a lot of villains that can be playing behind the scenes with this too, because they know that's a bigger villain that's playing on a bigger scale out there. So they just wait till all they get out the way. It's kind of like how you looked at how Thanos was using like Loki and everybody else to send them off. So it's like, okay, if they didn't work, he was just basically just chilling. Like, if you see him on Guardians, he basically just watching it. He basically watching just everybody do his job. So he knows when everybody couldn't do it, okay, I'm gonna do it myself then, and that's when we seen Infinity War happen. So I'm like, I feel like that's probably gonna possibly see something like that, where somebody probably tie behind the scenes or something like that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. But that Spider-Man, bro, we definitely gotta go see that, bro. Because they saying the next big movie is Eternals, but we don't, like I said, we don't know what to expect from this movie. So I feel like probably the next one we should all probably go see together. It obviously should be the Spider-Man one. I think that's on the 17th.
Of course. Yeah, we're gonna definitely go see that. Yeah, we definitely got a plan for that, bro. Like, I mean, I'm off weekends, and then Fridays they get off early anyway. So I could and then even on Thursday I could go. Because, I mean, you know, especially when I transfer out here to Vacaville, frees up my schedule a lot. And then, heck yeah, bro. We can definitely plan that.
Oh, it comes out on a Friday. So I'm like, I'm off that day. So I'm like, we can do that, bro. I'm going to try to see if we can get like an actual reaction video. Because I know we haven't did that in a minute since the Mandalorian reviews we did. So, yeah, I'm going to definitely try if we can see if we get them in. Because, bro, we're really just getting all in terms of the Spider-Man, like, content, bro. This, bro, it's from movies, games, bro. Like, this year about to be big, bro. Like, this year is about to be all this Spider-Man. Like, you're going to see some DC stuff, too, with Batman, because they got a lot of, like, the Batman Arkham Knights in the movie and all like that. So, it's definitely going to be some content coming out, but we definitely got to get in for that Spider-Man. Now that they got the Venomverse in it, they going to show Morbius and all that eventually and all that, too.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to show, honestly, everybody, bro. Everybody in freaking New York, bro. It's going to be Morbius. Obviously Spider-Man, Venom, Blade, you know, it's gonna show all these different people.
Right, it's like they taking adaptations from. It just reminds me of that '94 Spider-Man show, bro. Like when it was when they had it started off like a tease of like they were showing like Dr. Connors as the lizard, and then they was basically showing like the origin story between like Dr. Connors and Dr. Ock and all like that, and then like when he was coming against like Omega level characters like Mobius, that's when you got Blade coming in, and then when he was about to get his ID reveal, that's when the Punisher came in because you needed somebody like a Hunter to find him. I feel like that's why they would try to use Kraven and Hunter. I feel like they're using him for the game for that. In Spider-Man 2, it's gonna be Kraven and Venom gonna probably be the main villains in the second one because I heard the.
You know what's crazy? That's so smart. I just realized it. That's so smart because they're coming out with the Spider-Man 2 game. And Venom is the main character. And then at the end of Venom Let There Be Carnage, they show Spider-Man at the end. Like, that's a perfect setup, like, for the game coming out next year. And then...
Right, exactly, bro.
That's crazy. I really didn't even think of that. Like,
That's why they put,
Damn.
bro, this game should have been out, but the reason they did that, like you said, they was trying to put it at the right timing with the movies and all like that, because that's just good marketing right there. And plus, they trying to build up for the PS5.
Thinking, like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And because everybody's thinking, too, because I know me, personally, I'm like, bruh, don't get me wrong, like, I like Sony. Venom is a dope character, but I'm like, these movies ain't tying in with each other. Like, when Spider-Man, the reason Venom exists is because Spider-Man was made first. Right. So why aren't these movies a part of the same universe? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was kind of getting frustrated. I'm like, bro, like, I get it. Sony has the rights to blah, blah, blah. And Sony, like, my thing is Sony owns Spider-Man and Venom. So I'm like, why weren't they the same universe? You know, I'm like, that don't make no sense. Now that they're bringing it together and they're going to make it, and they doing the whole team-up thing with the MCU again, bruh.
I'm like, now I'm starting to think there's either going to be this is my biggest question with this, because now we know this cannot be the last Spider-Man movie with this version of Spider-Man. Like, so I'm now we can finally see like a full, like, a Spider-Man, like, redemption in terms of like his full trilogy, or like a full, like, you know what I'm saying, like just like a full, like, scale of a Spider-Man story of Peter Parker. We can actually finally get to see that, because with Tobey we couldn't get that. Even with Andrew, they barely got it finished after they made Spider-Man 2. It was just like they scrapped it after that. So now we can finally see it. But the good thing is we can see these Spider-Man, that the ones that did not, you know what I'm saying, fell with the last franchise, they can fix it with this one. I'm like, this will be perfect the way to do it, bro.
Exactly.
I'm like, we got the multiverse. You can bring these variants in, bro. And we knowing, like, we looking at this Spider-Man as like Iron Man Jr. You can bring these Spider-Man to have him to be learning, like, how to be that, you know what I'm saying, what comes great power comes great responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
This is the perfect way you can do this, bro. Where this Spider-Man can literally grow to himself. You know what I'm saying? This is the perfect way you can do it, bro.
Exactly.
And I feel like this is what they was really trying to build up for, bro. Like, they was really putting faith in this multiverse. They was really building up to this point now. So I'm like, this couldn't be just based off, because we haven't really seen Uncle Ben yet. So I'm like, what will be, and outside, and then we knowing Tony Stark is dead. So it's like, we knowing, like, Doctor Strange gonna probably play a part in that little father figure just to get him going forward, as, like, because we know he about to be an adult going forward now. He about to get older and everything. So now, because we know Doctor Strange can't be necessarily like a father to this dude, because he got to watch all these cosmic characters and beings and all like that.
Exactly.
So he got to set him on his way. He basically got to let him know you got to make a choice. And now the fact that he's dealing with magic, Peter Parker himself knowing that he can't rely on tech, he can't rely on magic. Now he knows he got to become best of himself as Peter Parker himself as Spider-Man now, and that's the perfect way you can do it like that.
Yep. I'm really waiting to see, because that's one thing I liked about Tobey's Spider-Man. The fact that, like, even though, I mean, obviously us knowing, like, the story now and everything like that, the story was off with Tobey, but his Spider-Man was really good because it showed, because that his Spider-Man didn't have no gadgets, no nothing. No. You know, they didn't show like, it wasn't up until Andrew Garfield's one where they showed like him actually create his web blaster. So in the first 3 Spider-Mans, all we seen was Tony's agility, or Spider-Man's speed, agility, and skill and technique. All that
straight
stuff.
Organic, right?
So yeah, right. And then so if we could see Tom Holland, because, you know, with his web shooters and everything, his tech, if we could see his speed, agility, stealth, all the other type of stuff on the level of Tobey, it'll be a really amazing that's why they call it an amazing Spider-Man. Like, if he was like this, everything, like his, because I mean, bruh, obviously we all know, bruh, the best web slinging action, bruh, that we saw was like Tobey Maguire's, like the way he was like flipping in the air, spinning, doing all that stuff. Like, we ain't seen that from Tom Holland yet. Like, I'm ready to see that, but I'm like they need to, like you said, they need to get to that level of, like, you know, where he don't rely on just gadgets and like just doing backflips and stuff. Like, nah, we want to see you nigga running up walls, backflipping, tricking in the air, doing that stuff, throwing stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? We want to see you like doing that, because that's real Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Him as Peter Parker is perfect. His Spider-Man is good too, but it could be perfect if they just tweak those little things. And just don't rely so much on, like, oh, he got some gadget. Oh, he has this type of suit. Oh, he has, like, bro. No, we want to see hands. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. But you
like,
see in each
so I
film,
think-
he's breaking,
exactly.
he's bringing, he's being more, he's building up more to himself as Spider-Man as each film progresses. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to peep that.
Exactly.
Like, it's to a point where he's not even trying to rely on the tech no more. That's if he knowing he need to use the tech against like a Doc Ock where he know he need to use his arms. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the logical Spider-Man. I feel like he's like the most logical one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he knows he has to use it against somebody that got 4 arms. So it's like, you know what I mean? Whereas like most of them will usually like, how can I explain this? Because I can't say that because every Spider-Man had intelligence. They used their intelligence to beat each villain, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. But they had a certain way of how they did it, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have to rely on tech. They just relied on their strength or they just relied on their agility. It was just a certain way of how they did it, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. So I'm like, this Spider-Man, we'll probably get to see, like, of how he gets to break up out of that. But this is the one, he actually get to deal with Sinister Six, though. So I'm like, this is a whole different package he getting because at least it made the Spider-Man, they was teasing it, the Sinister Six, but we didn't even fully get that, you know what I mean? Exactly. But now it's like the fact we is getting it. Now I'm like, because I'm like, it's no way this Peter Parker can fight this Sinister Six, bro. That's too much for him, bro. You're going to have to bring at least another Spider-Man or something to help him out, bro.
Yeah, of course, bro. Because he was getting, even in I think Homecoming, bro, he was getting whooped by Vulture. I was like,
bro, he was getting whooped by Vulture. And Mysterio, that's why each villain he damn got whooped, bro. He got it's like to a point where he just got outsmarted. Like, yeah, bro, he was getting outsmarted. He was just getting just outbeaten every battle. Like, he was to a point where he really had to use his intelligence. And Doc
Ock and all them show up, bro. Nah, it just.
That's all, bro. You got Mysterio and you got Doc Ock and Green Goblin. You already got 3 intelligent like villains right there, bro. That's already like that's already gonna put a big scale on Peter Parker. That's why you gotta bring these 3 Spider-Man in, bro. Yeah, that's definitely gonna help him out. But then my thing is like they had to be from different universes because I'm like, it's no way he had to know that version of Peter unless he see a Spider-Man soon. He'd be like, okay, hello Peter, like he knows he has Spider-Man suit. That's why I'm wondering like it'll probably be a certain way. He'll probably reach a certain villain. And then that's how we'll see each Spider-Man make the introduction. Like, when we see Doc Ock and Green Goblin, that's obviously we'll probably see Toby around that time. And we see Lizard, Electro, we'll probably go see Andrew. Like, that'll be the perfect time to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because from that universe at that point in time. Yeah.
I hope we get that, man. Because they was teasing. Like, I'll be so let down if we don't see more than one Spider-Man. Like I'll be let down.
Yeah, bro. Like, that'll be a big disappointment.
Y'all cannot do that.
There's no way you could be teasing this for almost like 2 or 3 years and not give us Toby and Andrew, bro. That would be so horrible, bro. Like this would be just as worse as like us trying to get the 3rd Amazing Spider-Man or the 4th Spider-Man from Tobey Maguire. Like,
exactly. I know. Hopefully, man. I'm hoping because
But like, I believe they will, bro, because it's like I said, bro, this Sinister Six is too much, bro. There's no way he can fight these dudes by himself, even though we know in the comics and just naturally he can, but it's like that's basically the beginning and the end of Peter Parker that we know of when he fights Sinister Six, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm kind of nervous, like what kind of route they gonna do. The only reason I'm kind of like they probably won't kill him off so soon because we got Doctor Strange, we still got the Avengers there, so at least he got some help at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, He definitely gonna get kid off in this one. It's gonna probably be like one of the older ones, like probably Andrew Garfield or maybe Toby, just so they can be like, okay, we done with him or we done with this person, you know?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, damn, like because it'll make sense if one of them, because even just based off the Spider-Verse in general, one of them do die. Like that's just how the Spider-Verse goes. Like one of them pass away and they take the mantle, and that just, you know what I'm saying, just how it goes. So I'm like, that's why I'm wondering, because it'll make sense. Like it'll probably be a good point for both, because Andrew Spider-Man took a lot of tragedies just as much as the Tobey one did. But if you look at Andrew's, like that would be a perfect, because you see how he lost Gwen Stacy and all like that. It's like he really haven't had no closure with none of that. So I was like, that would be a good way for him to go like that. If you have like a great Warriors type of death in a way based on the Sinister Six, that would be a good way to go out. Even with Peter Parker, because this is the first version we've seen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it seemed like he was trying to, I don't want to say escape from death in a way, but it's kind of like, it was kind of like, I don't know. The Tobey Maguire one was kind of, I think it's probably just the fact that he just ready to just give up. Like, he feel like his time is up as Spider-Man. He feel like he just needs to make that sacrifice probably. I think that would probably be his purpose of him doing it.
Yeah, bro. It could be, I mean, if they do that, if this Spider-Man movie is good as we think it's gonna be, it could easily be like an Avengers level type movie just with Spider-Man alone. Just like with 2-3 Spider-Mans and like Sinister Six, it could be on a level of like Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Because all the characters in it and like action and stuff like that. Right. So.
And thanks again, bro, for hopping on here with me, bro. I'm gonna try to have it on here by at least, hopefully by tomorrow, Saturday. I try to have it on here, or at least before the week is over.
Yeah, for sure. It's all good, man. Take your time, man. You know, and then we're gonna just regroup on the next one. It's all good, you know. Just keep me posted.
It's all good, bro. For sure, man. You have a good one, bro, and I'll hit you soon, bro.
Man, much love, bro. I'll see you, bro.
All right, for sure. Love you, bro. Peace.
Love you, man. Peace.
Peace.